So good evening, everybody. Apologies for you probably haven't got a notification because I set the stream up late. So what we'll do is we'll waffle for a couple of minutes, give people a chance to catch up. So today we're going to be doing part 9 of the tractor, which is to finish off the steering. This is what we've done in 2 weeks. I've not been able to get the servo tester done yet because that hasn't arrived, but I can sort that out later on. I have 3 people to help me. The first one is my most wonderful co-host, Horlicks.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to be here today. I have caught up on the tractor from last week. Obviously, I wasn't very well, but I have caught up. So this is what I did following last week's show. I was watching Penny.
Looks very similar to mine. Right, Horlicks, I need a favour. I don't know which order to bring the next people in, so pick a number, 1 or 2.
2, because it's even.
Oh, do you know, it's always Fleetwood last. So this is Adrian. Hello, Adrian.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Right, so, and our last guest tonight is Fleetwood. How are you?
I'm fine, bringing up the rear. Don't matter about me.
The quality looks very good today. Have you done something different?
No.
Oh, that's interesting. Horlicks looks good. I think Horlicks is probably due to the fact he's probably fixed his internet.
Yeah.
Right, let's have
The
a
only
little...
thing I've done different is I'm running a different Logicam camera with it on mine.
Right. Okay, a better one?
One below, actually, C615.
C615. Is that the little cheap one?
The one that folds up.
Right, because Chris Campling's got a new camera, and it is really good quality, and it is so cheap. It's about a third of the cost of mine, and I was thinking about getting one. I was thought about chucking the Logitech ones on the 3D printer, because when you're switching cameras, because it goes purely on the camera name, it has a little bit of trouble finding it. So I thought about having some, like cheap ones for the stream, and use the Logitech ones, because the Logitech ones I can use one on each printer, because I'm looking at getting all the printers connected up to with cameras using Octopi. But yeah, so right, Adrian, are you up to date on this, and are you building along tonight?
Yeah, so I've got the parts for you.
Okay, and I'll ask the question even though I already know the answer. Are you caught up, Fleetwood? And
Yes. Yes, we'll
Well, I think he's definitely picked up.
Yeah. Okay. So
I was going to say as well. Sorry, I meant to say on Wednesday, but I'll bring it up on next Wednesday. On the Wednesday, we're back on the Routemaster, and I'll bring it up on my own channel as well when I get round to uploading. But I had a gift come through from Amazon. Amazing! It's one of them. Don't even see it. One of these USB lights that Fleetwood had.
okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant, so you can change all the tone of it and the brightness and everything.
Wow.
So yeah,
control from the computer then.
Yeah, I've plugged it into the back of the computer because it's USB, but that should light me area up a bit. So yeah, thank you. I'm not going to say who it was because they might not want to be named, but thank you so much for that. It's made such a big difference.
Was it expensive?
No, I don't think it was it? I can't remember it. Pardon?
14 quid.
14 quid.
Really, that's nothing, is it, for a decent light?
Yeah.
Because I mean, if it's a little bit short on the light, you can always use 2. Do you think they'd work 2 together?
Yeah, I was thinking of getting 2, one either side of my desk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but
well,
one,
I might get myself one after Christmas as a Christmas present then.
But one throws out quite a lot of light as it is.
I was going to say, this is quite blinding, actually. You can tell it's really bright.
What I've done with mine, Horlicks, is I put a strip of electrical tape so it don't glare straight in your face.
Oh, I remember saying that.
So the light goes down.
Yeah,
That's a good idea. Yeah,
but it looks like it's rotatable.
sort of. It's on
Right.
like a wand.
Right. Okay. Brilliant.
I
So
yeah.
found it. I find it glared on the mat, so basically I put a filter. I used A4 paper.
yeah, I was going to say.
I'm thinking of getting some tracing paper to might be better.
That's what I get.
That's really good, actually. That I really like.
You can change the temperature. Like you can have the really bright one. That's quite a good one.
Yeah. So yeah, I like that.
That's better, and that's the
Your
brightest it goes.
your mouse looks a bit high tech there.
Oh, it's old. It's a gaming mouse. It's got all different buttons on it for different
It
things.
looks sort of. Do you play like Terminator games with that or something?
No, I did used to do a bit of gaming, but it comes with adjustments, but it's quite comfortable to hold. It's really comfortable.
Okay, so I'll just catch up on the comments. There's not that many. You know, it's not as popular as the Routemaster Show. So Love Minis is the first one to comment, and I don't know if you noticed a new feature, Horlicks, but it pushes all the camera screens up when you bring the comments on the screen.
Yeah.
Dave Milner's here. He says hi everybody, and Dave says I'm unable to join you tonight. Have a good build, guys, and I'll keep popping in and looking at progress. And then Fleetwood J has posted the link. Can someone just confirm that link is working and coming up with a link?
Yeah.
So let's have a build now. I've got to be honest with you. I can't remember what screws we're using. So I might just do, unless Fleetwood can tell us what screws, what screws we need. I'm going to have to do trial and error again. So it'll be a bit of a mishy whatever. But
what screws where?
Right. When we screw the bits and bobs in, we'll need certain screws and bits for.
I can't remember all of them.
All right, don't worry. We'll figure it out. So, right. So let's have a look at the spreadsheet first, and that will tell us what we need for this week. So just check that is actually coming up. I apologize if you can't see this, but I'll go through everything anyway. So we need wheel nuts. Now, we only need 2 today, but I've printed off 10 because you need 10 for the entire build. They cost about 5. It works out cheaper and easier and quicker to print 10 than it is to do 4. You know, if you did 2 today and then 2 next time and 4 when you need them and 2, it's just too much trouble. You also need the front grid. You need 2 front tires. Sorry, two front wheels. And obviously I'll show you these in a bit. And you need 2 front tires, which are flexible filament. And you will need a front light bracket, which is printed ideally in clear.
You still got mine.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't got yours yet then?
No, I sent my one back to you because you needed it back, didn't you?
Did. Okay. So I'll have to get those out to you urgently then. Right, so the next thing we'll need is the LEDs. And we need 2 of those. And let me just find the parts. LED. Now, we should already have had these because we did order them hopefully 10 weeks ago. 10 weeks? 4 weeks. So my screen is running really. I did a reboot before the stream, but it doesn't seem to be. This is the LEDs that we've got. Now these are pre-wired. You can make these for a couple of pence yourself, and if you've got the skills, that's brilliant. They're bright white LEDs, 20 centimeter cable, pre-wired with a resistor, and you'll see that there'll be a little lump near the LED leg. These are £1.54 for 10. So that makes them about 15p each. I've got to be honest with you, for the trouble, you might as well buy them. I think these would cost about 5p to make, but by the time you've heated up your solder iron and you've made 2 of them, you know, is it really worth it? So I personally say, just for a couple, you might as well buy them. If we were doing hundreds of them, then I would actually make them. Right, so we need as well, we need to buy, we don't need them this week, but we need some countersunk screws. These are M3 16 mils, and I think that might be the last of the screws, and that brings the cost up this week of £8.93, which puts us £10 under budget. Now it's a big buy next. We need to buy a battery, a T-plug, and I still haven't done the ESCs yet, have I? So I don't actually know what we're doing with the ESCs. I think we're going to have to play that one by ear. But yeah, we need to get the battery sorted out, and that for 4 weeks' time. So, right, everyone okay with that?
Yep.
Right, let's build then. Let's build. Right, so what we should have, and I'm sorry, my work area is now going to be worse than anyone else's, because everyone's got good quality cameras and good lighting. Right, so this is what we've got so far. So we've got the steering arms in. Obviously, we need to sort this servo out. I'm going to go on to full screen, guys, if you don't mind. Right, so we need to sort the servo out, and we've got 3 points of adjustment with this. The first one is we actually taken this screw off the servo, and we're going to adjust this arm so that it's level. The next point of contact, next point of adjustment is, well, maybe there's 2 points. Right, there's the length of these arms. So if we make these longer, it will adjust these. And I'm sure we've got a third point I can't remember right now.
The receiver, transmitter.
Oh, of course, the transmitter. So if this is out just a slight bit, when we come to, I've got batteries in my receiver. I don't think I have. Right. So there will be an option on the actual transmitter, receiver, whatever it is, which way round it is, the bit that you hold in your hand, you can actually adjust it slightly. So we should be all right. But this is precision, 100% precision isn't critical. You know, if it's out a slight bit, it's not going to hurt. Obviously, if it was an aeroplane or something, it could hurt if it's out a little bit. So let's have a look at the parts for this week. And these are them. Can't get the words out today. I'm so tired today. Right. So we have got, this is the front grid, and this is the bit of the tractor that everybody knows. This is going on front of it. We've also got wheel nuts. Like I said, we're going to do 10 of these purely because, like, they're so small. We only need 2, but it's just as easy to print 10, and then we'll just keep the other 8 in a bag somewhere safe for later on.
And I've got 2 of those here.
Right.
One, and I've actually poshed it up a bit and chromed the top.
Oh, you've got all flash on us, have you? Let's have a look at Horlicks then. Oh, wow. Is that with your Molotov pen?
Yeah, the one I got through from Fleetwood, I think, got it for me. Oh, it's amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Right. They look really nice. Okay, so mine look very dull and ordinary compared to Horlicks, but that's fine. We also need the front light bracket. So this is going to go into there. So this will act as a diffuser for the lights. We also need 2 front wheels. So that's these smaller wheels. I'm really happy with the way these came out. And we need 2 tires. Now these are the original tires that I did. So these are really, really stiff. I've since learned that if you reduce the infill, you can get a nice squidgy tire. Let's see if I've got another tire lying around. There we go. So this is one done with a lot lower infill. So this would be a lot easier to get on because it'll flex. But I'm going with these 2, these solid ones. I don't want to mix the tires up. So I don't want one solid one on the left and one hollow one on the right. We'll also need some bearings, and I'll figure those ones out later on. You can't get the wrong bearings in there because of the sizes. So shall we start with the simple bits?
Yeah.
Right, so first thing we need to do is get 2 LED. We'll put this bit in first. Right, so we need to pop this into there, and I'm noticing that you've got a little channel in there. You see along there, and that's going to help this go in. So you might want to just flex this open a little bit, pop that in, as simple as that, and then we'll need to attach that with, I'm gonna guess, an 8mm M3 button.
Yeah, I'd say that.
8mm. Most of the small screws tend to be 8mm buttons. So basically a screw that's going to screw that in nice and tight with no movement. And for me, that's gone in fine. So
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect for me as well.
Well, let's have a look at Horlicks. Beautiful beauty. Right. Fleetwood, do you have anything to show us?
No, mine's in, but
That's
mine's
fine.
in, but I haven't put a screw in.
Adrian can't do anything because I've forgotten to send in the light bracket. Right, so the next bit is to pop in the 2 LED bulbs that I had on the table. That's right, here we go. So these are the LEDs. You see there's a resistor on there. I'm not going to worry about the soldering yet. We'll do that at a late stage. All we want to do is just push them in. Now I'm pushing them so the wires are straight up and down. And the reason for that is that one goes in like that. And I also want to keep the positives and the negatives. Doesn't matter which way round they go, but put them in the same way. So that you see there, I've got the black wire at the top. So this one, I'll pop the black wire on the top as well. And the reason for that is what I want to do, I want to bring at a later stage, I want to bend this wire and I want them coming together. So by having the black wire at the top, that will come along, and then I'll probably just electrical tape that up because I know I'm going to connect these 2 wires to the same position. So they'll both work or none of them will work. But for now, I am going to leave this like this. And if they
yours a tight fit?
Pardon?
Are yours a tight fit?
Mine's a very tight fit.
Because mine are loose, so I might have to add a bit of glue on mine.
That's fine. I was going to say if they're a little bit loose, you can just pop a drop of super glue in there. But you know, I might just pop a bit of glue in there anyway, because then they won't fall out. And do we want to do a test today on them?
Can do.
Can do, yeah.
Okay. Always wise to test, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little homemade circuit tester. all it is just it's just some wires that have been soldered together. So I've got a variety of different connections. Oh, I'm showing you this. I'm not on screen. So that I've just got some connectors that go to a variable power supply, and I've got various connectors, and then obviously I can plug connectors into connectors, and then I'll just figure something out that works well. Probably use these ones because these are bare wires. So we'll have a little look at Horlicks, and right, Dave Miller saying, can I do something like that for the Routemaster rear wheels? Theoretically, yes, because oh look, he's way ahead of us there. Look, testing the bulbs. Are they bright?
I can't remember if this battery's any good, but yeah, I think it's all right. I'm just going to
Okay.
connect together so we can see
All
them both.
So yeah, theoretically a wheel can be designed, but I don't know if I have the design skills for it. But still lights on your tractor there. Are you doing a barn dance there?
Pardon?
Are you having a barn dance there? You seem to have disco lights.
Yeah, I'm just trying to balance them on the battery.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit fiddly at the moment, isn't it? The actual pre-cut connections aren't really that long.
There you go. Very bright.
Nice, very nice. So obviously, if we hook those lights up to say, for example, a potentiometer, we could have them as a light bulb. But I suppose if we put more resistors in, or one of these buck converters, we can reduce the power then, can't we?
Yeah, but I must say it does look really. It looks amazing from the front. I mean, the camera's not going to pick it up, but you can tell, like, just yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
you know, my printer's done a good job on that.
Good. Right. I'm going to switch I'm going to test mine on 7.4 volts. And the reason I'm choosing 7.4 is because that's the power of the actual battery that we're using. So I've still got my main light on, but I've just switched my desk lamp off. So I'll test one at a time, and then I'll test them both. So if I can. So black, red, sorry. Oh, right, that's one. And that's quite interesting. Do you get a little? Oh, I'm having your problem there, Horlicks. Do you just get a little light in the middle?
Yeah, with a dark ring around the edge.
Yeah, I can't get
It looks amazing.
It does look really nice. So we'll test the other one. Doesn't want to know, does it? There we go. So even though, because you used a 9-volt battery, I'm using 7.4, but that is actually really bright. I wish I had, I don't know if you can see the brightness on, that is actually shining on the table. So I think you would actually be able to use this in the dark.
Is there actually any light bleed through the PLA?
I can't see any. I will try and have a look. Don't know if this is going to work. Let's try a different tactic. Okay, I'm not getting anything there. Right. I don't think I'm going to be able to get both together. Oh, nearly. No, it's really, really hard to get both together. I'm just going to look at the one, but I can't see any light bleed.
I can't on mine either, Penny.
Oh, there's a little bit on the inside, but obviously that's just where the bulb is. But there's no light bleed through the coloured display.
No.
So the only thing we're going to have to watch out for is underneath where this is going to connect up. So I'm happy that they're working. Obviously we'll test them again once we hook up the. Do you know what? I might need a touch of glue on those because they don't take an awful lot of force to pull out. So I will do those later on. Right. So next stage then is to pop this onto the actual steering bit, and this is ever so easy to put on. There's a little channel there, and there's a little channel inside there, and they will just slide in like that. And then we pop a bolt into there. And might be easy if we put the nuts in first. So what do we reckon for there? About an 8mm again?
I used
I reckon a 12mm.
12mm.
I used 16 on mine.
16. Right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get the 12mm buttons out and the 12 and the 16. So which one should we try first, Horlicks?
I suppose work upwards, so maybe try a 12 and then
this is going to be quite fiddly.
yeah, I was just thinking that here.
So, oh, that might be all right because that's quite a tight. No, it isn't. That's a loose fit.
What I did with mine, Penny, was I put the nut in and I put a bit of masking tape to hold the nut in while
I was just thinking that actually, and then remove the tape.
Yeah.
Tape afterwards, right? So masking tape, where are you? Right, I've not got masking tape to hand, so I'm going to use a little bit of ground packing tape. It shouldn't matter if you just have it on just for a minute or two. Oops. So,
What we think about internally, it doesn't matter. If it's internally of the product, it does not matter.
well, this tape will only leave residue if you leave it on for quite a while.
Right, for me, 12 was perfect.
Right, okay then. So who said 12 out of you two?
It's Adrian.
Adrian.
But 16 really doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter because you're not going to see the overhang anyway. So
No.
Right, so that's one nut in. Sorry guys, I've completely been really selfish and taken everything. All right. So I've tried to leave a little bit of a tab so it's going to be easy to remove once we've finished. And this is the other nut in. So a little bit of tape just to secure that. Right, so that can go in. And I'll try 12 now. So we'll pop one in from one side. And whoops. Oh, that's really nice actually. I think 12 is the one. Doesn't take many turns. I can see why Fleetwood would have used 16 because it's probably going to be in that he probably feels it's a lot more secure.
Yeah.
But that 12 will go in, but it just takes one or two turns and then it's really secure. So now I'm happy with the 12. And I can screw that fairly tight, but I don't want to overdo it.
Yeah, I did mine fairly tight too.
So
But I can just see the end of the screw at the end of the nut.
yeah, if I can just get this tape out, I'll be able to see what I can see. But without getting the tape out, I've got no tweezers to hand. Oh yeah, look, I would say 12 is the one. You can just see the tip of the screw. That's perfect, I would say. Not saying you're wrong if you've done 16, but right. So how you getting on, Horlicks?
Yeah, I'm done.
Lovely.
The only way you'd find out if you made an error is if you bought exactly the right amount of screws you need, and at the end you think, oh, I need 2 16s.
I've run out of 16, but I've got spare 12s or something. Right. I think I'm going to get light bleed there, you know. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we can always put masking, electrical tape and stuff around there. Right. So, what's the next stage? Wheels. So I'm going to talk you through, but with Horlicks doing it, if I can. The reason for that is I've got a feeling that you've done yours a little bit looser than mine. So yours would be easier to get. Yeah, you've got a bit more squidge. So
it's got 3 bands. The outer bands are hard, and my middle one is nice and soft.
Right. Okay.
So I've got a best of both.
A little ridge on the inside.
Yeah.
Right, and on the opposite side, there should be no ridge. And if you take a look at your wheel, you will see there's a little lip at the top.
Yeah, there's one on there.
What we want to do is place the tire into the wheel into the tire. The part of the tire without the lip has to go into the top of the tire with the little ridge, so that the lip will meet the ridge when it's fully inserted, like so. So drum roll, please.
And I might just for that, it won't actually fit comfortably in the other way anyway. It doesn't want to go.
Can I tell you a secret?
Where you've got the lip,
it doesn't want to go either way. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. It's very, very hard work to put it in the wrong way. It's far easier to put it in the right way than the wrong way. Now, what we've done is we've actually printed these so that the side touching the bed is going to be on the inside of the tractor, or put it another way, we'll be hiding the unattractive side.
Yeah. This is my first tire I did, and I ended up using PVA glue to try and keep this onto the bed. And it obviously the PVA, you can see all the brush marks where I brushed it. But on the bit of a spoiler, on the on another tire, you can see the finish I've got because I used some decorator's tape. So there's a big difference in the bottom.
But you have got a shiny bottom.
But I have got a shiny bottom, yeah.
You used to be so jealous of my shiny bottoms, didn't you? Okay, so how easy, difficult is that to put in?
Yeah, a little bit of a push.
Right.
And it fits into place like a glove.
Lovely, lovely. Right. So I'm going to show you on two. Are you going to put the other one in?
Yeah, might as well do the other one. So yeah, it does fit in nicely. As I say, if you try and put it in the wrong way, it doesn't actually want to go. Look, it goes in skew if it just doesn't like it.
Right.
So only one way. And then
you can see that the little ridge on the wheel is lining up with a little groove on the tire. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm borrowing this other tire. So the first one I'll put on is I'll put this really hard one on, and I have done this before, so I know it'll go. So it goes in nice and easy to that point. See where there's a little ridge in the tire. This is why you can't print the tire in PLA, because there's a little ridge on the inside. So it should go in nice and easy just to that ridge. And like Horlicks says, if you put it, this is what I mean by that. You've got a shiny top and you've got the dull bottom. This is where the print bed was. If you put it in the wrong way, I only just noticed this tonight. You see the trouble I'm having getting it in. But if I put it in the correct way, it goes in, I'll say easier. Obviously, this is one that I haven't put in before but it's difficult to put in because there's so much infill in there. So, but I don't want to pop that one in first. I want to pop this more flexible one in. And so what we'll do is we'll put the flexible one on, and you see how that just goes in quite easily. I don't want to use this because it's different. But I just want to show how the infill makes a difference. This one is flipping hard. It will go, but you can see how much more effort I'm having to make. And I might actually have to. No, my table's too flexible. I think what I might have to do is put this on the floor, put a piece of wood on it, and then perhaps stand on it. But oh, there you go. That's going to go. That will go. There we go. That's in. But that's so difficult to put in because there's so much. The more infill you've got in the tire, the less flexible it is. But I can assure you, if you did that in PLA, that would not work at all. So let's try my second one. And this one will be harder because I haven't put the tire in before. So it's quite important to get the tire in. You see it's got a slight angle. That now makes it really hard to put in. So you need to try and keep this as flat as you can. Sorry, as you know, 90 degrees to the tire. Obviously, like I say, if you have a low infill, it'll go in so much easier. And I do apologise, Caldecott, I haven't ignored you. So hello to Caldecott Bus Spotters and possibly his brother Newport Bus Spotters. This ain't going to go in, is it? Here we go. That's him. So I think I'm going to try a bit of wood trick. Or what might work, steel ruler. No. Oh, I'll tell you what will work, but you're going to have to be quite gentle, is your vise. That should do the job. Now, am I tightening this vise or am I loosening it? No, I'm loosening it. I'm trying to clamp it to the table. There we go. So, this vise has so earned its money. Right, so place that in. I think this is how I did it the first time. Right, so I'm going to do a little clamp, undo it, turn the tire around, a little clamp, and then undo it. This might actually snap the wheel. There you go, it's just starting to go. So then I loosen it, I turn it around. It's it might sound like a crack from where you are, but it's more of a strain. It's sort of more of a squeak, sorry. But I don't want to, you see it's not putting it in quite straight. So you just want to keep turning it and that will straighten it up. And I think patience is key here, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Let's go on. Let's go on. It's just that ridge in the middle that's causing the problem. But that ridge in the middle will mean that that tyre won't fall off. So I'll just go all around. That's in. And that's probably the easiest way to put your tyres on if you've done a lot of infill. The second tyres that we've done, these ones actually you don't need any infill at all, but you need a lot of walls, sort of about 7 walls on your print settings. Right, that I'm happy with. Okay. So do yours look anything like that, Fleetwood?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
And Adrian, how did you manage yours? If you just I'm guessing you squeezed yours really hard because I think I did yours with less infill.
Mine just
I'm just
quite easy.
Yeah, lovely. Have you done both or are you doing one at the moment?
Well, I've done both of mine, but mine are sitting on the side at the moment.
Yeah, we will come to why a little bit later. I'm a little bit upset actually about it, but it might even happen with mine. Right, lovely. So what we need to do now is we need to pop these tyres on. So wheels. Now we need 4 bearings, and I can't remember which ones they are, but I have labelled all my bearings. I think it is
the MR128ZZ
or 310 4.
right. Okay, I've labelled these 102D, 3x10 by 4 mil. So let me just pop this all. I was looking for these. I did a project for someone else the other day. An Xbox steering wheel. Turns your Xbox controller into a steering wheel, and I needed a bearing. Right. So these are.
Oh.
What's the O for?
Yeah, those are the wrong bearings then.
Okay. What, the 4x? Yeah, they are the wrong ones, aren't they? Okay, ignore Horlicks' fault. Horlicks' fault.
No, I think yours might be alright. I've got these 812 3.5 ones.
So I think we need might be these ones. I hope it's not. Right, they're 2. Right, okay, I know which ones they are now. I know which ones they are. Right. I think they're 102B, 8x12 by 3.5. I hope they are because I've got loads of them.
Yeah, those are the ones I've tried.
Right, okay. So these ones are 8x12 by 3.5. I've labelled them on the spreadsheet as 102B. Right, okay. They are the right ones. So 8, the first measurement, 8, is the inside. So we can see that they are roughly 8. The outside is the second measurement, which is 12. That's about 12. And the last measurement is the thickness, which is about 3.5. So if you ever get these, I noticed on, I think it was Banggood, they had the measurements around the wrong way. If your first number is higher than the second number, it means they've done the outside measurement, then the inside. Because obviously you can't have the inside measurement larger than the outside. So just watch out for that. So, you know, if you're looking for 8x12 by 3.5, and all you can find is 12 by 8 by 3.5. Don't go, oh no, they're the wrong ones. Right, so we'll need 4 of these, and what we're going to do is we're going to pop one in the front of the wheel, like so, and one in the back. Don't worry if they're loose. These ones are very loose, but don't worry about that. Now the back one should sit flush, like so, and the second one will have will be, what do you call it, recess. And I would do one at a time. So, and then what we'll do is we'll pop that onto one of the wheels, like so. And then what we need to do is place, you've got these wheels, you see you've got a hexagon on the top, and underneath we've got a circle, but it's not a perfect circle inside it. It's shaped, and it's shaped to go around the wheel. So what we'll do is we'll place that on there, and now you can see why there's a recess. Give it a bit of a turn, and then we need that looks to me like it's going to be an 8mm countersunk screw. Definitely going to be a countersunk.
Yes.
8mm, yeah.
Yeah, I reckon.
8mm? Where's the 8mm gone then? I've taken them out, and I don't want to put them back properly. Okay, I've got 8mm buttons. Why have I not got me 8mm? Well, we've got 8mm countersunk.
Yeah.
Right, okay, what?
Yes.
Mine then. 9 locks. Okay, I've obviously taken them out as 2, 3, 4. I've taken them out at some point and not put them back. So there they are, 8mm countersunk. Right, so we'll pop the 8mm countersunk in there, and I may need to just take that out and clean that up a bit. Right, I should have changed the screwdriver head first.
Wow.
I use the Aura and the Allen keys, so I'd have to change over heads.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Right, so that will just screw into there like so, and that should keep going until it's tight. And there we go. That nut won't rotate because it's it's shaped. Or it should be shaped, which mine isn't. Okay, that might be. Why is that not spinning too well? Maybe I've done it too tight. Let me start again, because I think that wheel nut's not gone in well. That should lock in. It's not locking in. Why is that? But my wheel's going round, so I'm happy.
Yeah, that's what happened to me, Penny.
Okay.
I
So
didn't do it up too tight because I just thought, do I go any further?
yeah,
I've done mine fairly tight, and the screw is flush in the top of the nut.
yeah.
But
It's
mine spins so freely, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good.
Really smooth.
Mine's not quite that good. It could be the tolerances on the printer. I'm always going to blame the tolerances on the printer. It could be that the nut's not in properly, because that is. Oh, that's better. Not funny. I've just tightened it up ever so slightly, and it's tight. It's better. Right. So, what's yours looking like, Adrian? Oh, yours is better.
I released. Well, actually, I didn't do the screw up tight because mine didn't do as very good sort of thing. So I loosened it off a bit.
Mine's moving freely, so I'm not unhappy with it. So, is that your second wheel?
Here's mine. This is my first one. I've done the screw up down and up tight.
Yeah.
Penny, can I ask you a question?
You always ask me a question.
You know when you put the bearings in the wheel?
Yeah.
Are they meant to be really tight or do they meant to fall out?
Right. Ideally, they'll be really tight. But I don't think you need to worry about them being loose because they're going to be clamped in.
Right.
But this one seems to want to go in a bit tighter. In fact, that one's really tight. So
I take it the wheel nut's meant to be loose as well. Is that correct?
No.
Oh.
The nut.
The grey piece we put in.
Yeah, no, that right. If you look here, you see how that's got a little bit of an edge to it.
Yeah, no, sorry, when you put it in the wheel center of the wheel, is it meant to be loose as well? Or is that meant to clip it?
When you place it in, it will be loose.
Right, okay.
But what this is gonna when you put that in, you see
I know. Yeah, it's two straight edges, isn't it?
And that will then connect onto there. And that you see how I can't turn that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just checking to see why mine failed, and I'm just making sure that
I think the reason it failed is if it hasn't printed quite well enough there, you'll have a weak point there.
Yeah.
So it happens from time to time, and it's a bit unfortunate, but it's gone in there absolutely fine. That's fairly loose, but there it's really tight. So it's gone in, but that works to my advantage actually being tight there. So I'll pop that over there, and then I'll pop that in. There we go. Now it's deciding to not go. Of course, if you don't get the bearing in flat, it's not going to go in. Right. So there we go. 8mm countersunk. It might actually be easier just to get this nut started on the wheel nut.
Okay, so I've taken my original wheel back off because when I put the nut in, like you said, it wasn't gripping.
Right.
It was spinning. So what you have to do is take the screw back out, take the nut back out, and then when you put the wheel back on,
let me have a look at yours.
I took this out, and then inside where you seat the bearing along the top edge here, I just use my screwdriver to push around the edge of the bearing and make sure it goes fully in.
Right.
Then put that on. That's reduced my wheel wobble by quite a lot.
Okay, you didn't realise you had a wobble.
No.
Right.
But I've still got a free flow movement.
I've got no wobble at all on this one. Now this one, right? So I've actually put the screw in the nut, but not enough to poke out. What I'll do is I'll look at where the flat edges are and I'll line them up roughly. If you don't get it lined up properly, what will happen is as we rotate it, it will just clip into place. But there we go. No, that's not right. So you do need to get it in. There you go. So you should have a little bit of a wobble on the nut. Then hold the nut down and just continue screwing this in. And once you've got it in a certain enough, you should be able to let go of that nut. Yeah, let's see. I've got a bit. No, I haven't. No wobble. So your wobble is going to be caused then by the bearings, I assume, Horlicks.
Pardon?
Your bearing, your wobble is going to be caused by the bearings not being in straight.
Yeah. And since I've done that, it's actually tightened it up. The only thing that's wobbling is the actual arm.
Yes, which you want it to. So I'm going to try and see. Oh, that's. Do you know what? I think that nut isn't in right. I've noticed that if you put it in wrong, it will actually go in. So you need to make sure it's in. And that nut mustn't move. So let's see if that makes a difference. Oh, massive. Look at that. There's still a bit of friction there. And there's no wobble there. So now my wheels look, I think my wheels look okay, don't they?
Yeah.
If they are out and not out by much, and obviously once we plug the servo in, which I can't test yet, then obviously that'll, you know, as soon as I plug the servo in, they might go like that. In which case, or they might go like that. In which case, I've got a problem. So let's have a look at Horlicks's. Look at that.
So that's one.
Like that orange.
And then this one.
Nice. Really, really nice.
So I've got no wobble from the bearing, but I have got wobble in the whole arm, the arm system there.
Yeah, but you will do though, because that's. But it's actually added quite a weight to it, I think.
Yeah, and it sits. I've had to use 6 spots just to hold it up, but
I don't get on with those. I have to use a cigarette pack at one look. Because then they all sit in my tin properly. Sorry, we're comparing cigarette papers now, tips now, aren't we? Right, let's see how Adrian's getting on. I like Adrian because he's slow but sure. He's a little bit slower than us, but you know Adrian's is always going to be spot on.
Or I might be ahead of you, and I might just be a little bit tinkering around sort of thing.
Oh, you could be ahead and tinkering around and making discoveries. So,
like, I don't have much wobble there because I craftily slipped some washers in there.
right.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Yes. I actually tried to tighten the screws up, and as soon as I tightened them up, I heard a crack, and that worried me, so I don't go anymore. You know, we mustn't forget the fact that this is made out of plastic.
So that's why mine doesn't wobble up and down, up and down.
So that is our answer then, is it? With these arms, we just pop some water. Can you show us the washers, or are they hard to see?
They're hard to see.
So have you put the washers on before you put the nylocks on?
Yes. What I've done is, hang on. Let me get one of my other models.
I can't stop wheeling it around the table.
No, I am as well. And are you moving the servo as well?
Well, I tried, but it's a bit awkward, isn't it?
It's a bit hard, isn't it? But yeah, you just can't help it, can you? I'm pretty sure by the time we finish this, I'll have wrecked that servos from all the.
I just can't believe how big it is as well. Like the front of it, like you can really see the size of this is going to be.
Yeah, it's really not until you start to put it together, because even the first 3 stages. Let me have a look at mine. The first 3 stages, it doesn't really tell you much about the size of the tractor, does it? You know, we know that's half of it, but because there's not any, I mean, obviously we know where the wheels are going to go, but because we haven't got any recognizable parts on there, we've got no sense of scale. But this one, because like you can see, this is the front of the tractor, this is the front wheels. You know, you can now go, whoa, that's going to be big. So But yeah, I'm going to have a little play now, look, because I know that's going to go on to. Looks like you've got to be a hairdresser now, haven't you, with all these cables? So there you go. So it's not going to be many weeks before we struggle for space on the desk. But it's starting to look a bit messy with the wires now. So my worry I've got is, I'm assuming, given where the motor is, that the receiver is going to go there.
No, I think it's going to be shoved in the bonnet, which is here somewhere. Yeah.
Let's have a look at yours, Horlicks. What do you think?
Here, because you've got the bit that goes on there, and then you've got the actual bonnet.
Well, it's going to go right to the front.
You shove it all on top of this.
If it goes there, these wires will probably be just, well, this is going to have to go into something, but these servos aren't going to reach much further than there. I personally wouldn't want it too close here because it could interfere. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at. Right, if the receiver's there, that's fine for things like this. But these servos probably aren't going to fit, so it needs to go there. But if it's there, the servo's going to get, unless it goes up into the bonnet. So one thing I'm thinking about is to make a little plastic, just a piece of plastic, just to go there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and then we can place things wherever we want. I can make a little surround using a 3D pen, but that just seems natural because those seem to be the exact same height. So, like that. And all we need to do is make it round about, put some holes in it, as long as we get the dimension of these holes right. So these are about, in fact, actually, all I'd need to do is take this piece, put it into Tinkercad, slice it, slice all the bottom off, so it's about 1 millimeter or 2 thick, then extend it this way, and a little bit that way, and then we know those holes will fit.
Oh.
See, this is the trick I use with Tinkercad, is that I use someone else's design as much as I possibly can, so then I know it's going to fit. Right, so that's it. That's all we've done for this week.
I really like the orange.
Yeah, I do. But you know what? I really, you know, purple's my favourite colour, and I'm not unhappy with purple, but I think everyone else's colours are better than mine. I like Adrian's red and green tractor.
I like Adrian's silver tyres, silver wheel rims.
Wheels.
That's really nice.
Yeah, but I absolutely love Fleetwood's orange and blue. That was an absolute joy to print. I'm still waiting for him. As soon as I print him off some of the new orange, I'm still waiting for him to go, yeah, can you reprint everything in the new orange, please?
We'll have to see.
Well, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. But it's it's a beautiful colour scheme. The blue is quite a solid blue, isn't it? Whereas the orange is a little bit transparent.
It glides on the floor beautifully.
It's lovely.
On carpet.
Well, this is now I know a little bit about this from theory. Obviously, we're talking different objects, but with 3D printers, they talk about single bearings and double bearings. Now, if you have a single bearing, then obviously what can happen is everything can wobble. By having a double bearing, you're doing that, and you can see that with that ruler it's a little bit off center, but it's still holding because you've got two bits holding, and that's what the bearings are doing. So this is a double bearing, and that's why they run so smoothly.
And that's it. The whole design is just fantastic, right? From start to finish, everything.
I've actually loosened this ever so slightly. That's why it spins so well. But you see, there's no wobble. If that was just a single bearing and I loosened it slightly, you would create a wobble. So, but that's why they run so well. So, and I think we're not going to. I mean, with a tractor it'll be fine, but I don't think we'll have too much trouble with the grip. So you got to remember, there's no propulsion in the front wheels anyway. So Matthew Bourham's just popped in and said, hello, evening all. I'm a little bit late, but we wouldn't have it any other way, would we?
Hello, Matthew.
Fashionably late. So what do people think?
Brilliant.
Brilliant, just brilliant. That's it. No thought, just brilliant.
Well, as you're off next week, we may as well do next week's as well.
JRB 2019.
No, I can't wait just to get on now. I've got my interest has peaked again on it, so
good. I'm really happy with that. I didn't want to pull you back into streaming too soon, but at the same time, the longer it takes you to come back, the less motivation you'll have. And I mean, I've completely lost. I've been YouTubing now, what, 2 years? And on 2 or 3 occasions, I just completely lost motivation. What's actually really helpful for me is this 1 week off in 4, and I don't want to not stream, but it gives me so much motivation the next week. So you're happy.
It gives you a moment to like recharge yourself, doesn't it?
Yeah. If I stop YouTubing because I'm getting a bit of burnout, there's always that chance you won't come back. If you're taking a rest before you burn out, when you don't want to rest, you're then like, oh, I want to come back. But obviously, you had different reasons to stop coming online. But if you stay offline for too much, you kind of get used to it, don't you?
yeah. I mean, I'm not, as I said, I don't think I'm not over it at all by any means, but I think at the moment I feel like it's difficult, isn't it? You have good days, you have bad days.
Yeah, you will. And what you've got to do,
I don't think I'm over this yet, and I think there could be, I don't know, I hope not, but there could be another spell,
No, well, just take small steps, and if you have to take one small step forward and one great one back, then that's the way it is. Because you did come back, didn't you? And then you disappeared for a week or 2.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I call that dipping my toe in the water. So I'm just going to change my camera view because I've just noticed that I've moved my camera onto the messiest part of my desk. So always switch to Horlicks. So yeah, look, I think that's yeah. The only problem with this build is it's too much to build in one go. I think. They would.
Yeah, I think
no one else,
especially because of the parts. If you couldn't really, well, you could, but by the time you've bought all the parts, as you've worked out, it can be quite expensive.
Yeah.
And I think if you had all the parts, you could probably do it over a few days.
Yeah. I mean, if I was doing this, if I was only doing pre-recorded videos, I would do them probably in the same style that Makit's done them. Stage 1, the diff. Stage 2, the steering. Stage 3, this bit. And stage 4, that bit. But you're talking about, even then, you're talking about 50, 60 quid a stage. But a lot of the outlays, things like the screws, if you buy just enough screws, fair enough, it'll be a lot cheaper and you won't have any screws left over at the end of the build. I like to buy my screws in bags of 50. And then I've got like those M6 countersunks, or possibly even the M8s, 8mm. I already had some for my little boxes that I've been doing. This one's unfinished, but this is bolted together. But what I've now found, and I'll show you on this, because I've now got a collection of different screws, I can now use different screws to my advantage. So at the back here, you can't really see them, but the back is bolted on with a countersunk screw and a nut, because the nut won't show because it'll be at the back. The bottoms are screwed on with a countersunk, but then you've got these feet, so you've got a nut goes into there. What I've done with the tops, I've actually put the tops in with a button head screw, because I think those button heads are quite attractive. So, but if I do 2 of them, what will happen is that button head will be replaced with a countersunk screw, and that will go on there, and then you need a slightly longer countersunk screw, but then this top will have a button head. So now that I've been collecting the different screws, I can use them to my advantage. And I think that box now looks so much more attractive by using button heads. Oh, we're having a sparkles time, are we?
Yeah, she is.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello, Sparkles.
Who said that?
She's starting to look in the camera more now. She's becoming a little bit of a diva.
Yes. She wants more for appearances now.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
I'll have a word with her agent, see what we can work out. Is she getting
Currently 1 monkey nut and 2 yogurt drops.
Yeah, she like yogurt drops, does she?
Yeah.
Don't
Yes.
show everyone your bum.
Her fur looks good.
Yeah. Up it for me.
This is. Hello. No.
So Dave says, wow, they look great. So we'll have to have a whip round for Dave, you know, and we'll send him all the parts for the tractor.
True. Be a nice surprise for him.
Yeah, I wish I had the money,
Yeah.
and I would just say, yeah, right, here you go, this is your Christmas present. But if I had the money, I'd do it for everyone.
True.
So
Have you had enough now?
Yeah. Go and play in your ball now. No?
well, the ball that is allegedly bad for them.
Yes.
Yeah. You talking?
Yeah.
You talking?
No, my hamsters managed well. I used to put multiple
Talking.
hamsters in my ball. Didn't do them any harm. They were bonkers before I put them in the ball.
True.
So tomorrow I've decided I'm not going to be streaming
Right.
because I've got so much to sort out in this room, and I've got little bits and bobs I'm printing off and organising things, and I really want 2 priorities. I've got, well, 3 priorities over the next 2 days, which is obviously get my washing done because that's building up, get my desk cleared, and the easiest way for me to get my desk cleared is to get my drawers sorted out. So I might nip down Wilco's and buy a couple more drawers to fill that little gap. But I say I've been printing these off as well, So obviously I'll add the jaws to go in there, and they're useful for longer bits, like resistors and bits and bobs. And I want to sort out some dividers for the little trays that I've got. But I would definitely recommend these little drawers from Poundland. I know there's 4 there, but you get 3 for £1, and the tops come off so that you can stack them up. So what I've actually done is, on the shelf I've got them stacked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 high, and then I've got them stuck next to each other. So I've got loads and loads of drawers for different things, which is really helpful for like, for example, my nozzles. These actually, I've got a nozzle holder for them. I've got a bit of something in there. So these are my 0.4 nozzles, and these will actually go into one of the racks. And then these are actually mixed nozzles, so I'll print off a couple more of these, and then I'll have my 1 mil nozzles and 0.1 mil. And actually, I'm going to start using these 0.1 mil nozzles. I'm going to start printing some really finely detailed models and see what the results. I want to see. I have been doing some experimenting with 1 mil nozzles, and it's quite funny actually. Obviously, I print with a 0.4 mil nozzle by standard with a 0.2 layer height. If I want the increased detail, I print with a 0.1 layer height or even a 0.06. So obviously, as you can imagine, the larger the nozzle size, the less detail there is, but they print much quicker. And obviously, if you print with a smaller nozzle, you get more detail. And rather than printing with a 0.4 nozzle with a 0.06 mil layer height, which is about 1/4 the size of the nozzle, I could actually, what's that you got, Horlicks?
Oh no, so it's my phone.
Is that a motivational state thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look for something positive in each day. Oh, hang on. Look for something positive in each day, even if some days you have to look a little harder.
I'm going to tell you 2 things that I've learned that I often do. One is a stupid thing that I saw on Facebook. It was some Navy commander or something or another, and he said, every day make your bed. That way, if you haven't achieved anything, or if you feel like you haven't achieved anything in the day, when you come home, at least you've achieved that.
Oh, that's a given anyway. I always make the bed in the morning.
So just remember that when you come home and your bed has been made, you've achieved something. And the other one, and it's so cliche, so old, but it does work. Look in the mirror every morning and just say you're a good person and good things are going to happen.
That's true.
And you find that if you tell yourself that good things are going to happen, you have a slight slant for making things happen. So, but yeah, so going back to the layer height and the nozzles, if I had a 0.1, I'm going to have to write this down because I can't do the maths, but a 0.1 layer height nozzle means that you can print in, what's 1/4 of 1? 0.025. Yeah, 0.025. So that means I could probably get so much more detail. So what I was thinking about doing was printing an object, just something fairly simple, like, I don't know, something that'll take a couple of hours, maybe just a benchy. And I'll do that with a 0.4 nozzle on a 0.1 layer height, and I'll do it again on a 0.2. And then I'll record all the print times and then print them out and then actually look at the detail and say, is it worth it? Hello, Roger Kendall. How are you? Because the detail I can get with a 0.4 nozzle height, let me show you this. I know I've shown it on stream a few times, and you can't really see it that well because of the camera, but this little baby Yoda, this is a 0.4 nozzle height on a 0.06, yeah, 0.06 layer height, and the detail is really, really good. So obviously this has taken like 6 hours to print. If I did that on a 0.1 layer height, a nozzle with a 0.025 layer height, the detail would be better, but the print time might be making things up 24 hours. So then I've got to say to myself, is it worth 4 times the time, the amount of detail that is increased detail? So yeah, I think I'll have a little play with some of those nozzles. But I've used a 1 millimeter nozzle, and that is absolutely insane. It literally sucks the filament out of the spool. You see it spinning, but it's quite funny. But it's also very useful if you'd like the R2D2. If you're going to be gluing the pieces together and sanding and filling them, you may as well do a 1 millimeter nozzle and then do like a 0.5 layer height, 0.6. Because you're going to be filling it anyway, so you don't mind the loss of detail. So yeah, it's worth experimenting with. Right, I'm going to put my little piece of that up on my very safe tractor place.
Oh yeah.
So your thoughts, Adrian?
Pretty good so far.
Good. And yours, Fleetwood?
Brilliant. Yeah, I can't fault it.
Yeah.
I've still got many ideas for other things. I've done the counterweight, obviously, and
Yes.
done pallets already.
Are you able to show your pictures off? I know you shared some on Facebook, and they look absolutely amazing. I'm a little bit jealous, actually. Me and Horlicks have come up with this project, and Fleetwood's done such a better job.
Hang on.
So, but this is the original idea that we had with the toolbox, wasn't it? That we partly fill the toolbox with a counterweight, and then we put some tools and things to make it look like it's full up of tools, when in fact actually it's a counterweight. Look at that. Let me make that picture big.
Yep.
That is fantastic. So you should now be able to fit that on the end of the tractor.
Yeah, it fits perfect.
Does it?
Yeah.
So that box, you bought that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right. So is that molded plastic?
It is, yeah. It comes a set of 3 on AliExpress. And
And you've got a little toe winchy thing.
yeah,
well.
toe bracket on the front, yeah.
Fantastic.
And that all seals up nicely. And that sits on the front of the tractor.
And
nice.
you've got liquid gravity in there.
Yeah. It's about it's about that much, just above the bracket here.
So enough to weigh it down, but you've left enough space to make it look like it's a full box of tools.
Yeah. Now I've been playing around with loads of pallets that I've got.
So those pallets, did you buy those?
Yeah, they came off AliExpress as well.
Okay. And did you make them up, or did they come ready assembled?
They were ready made. I just put everything else on top.
Right. I do like those milk churns.
Yes.
And the little, look at that. The bags of stuff. 100% natural fertilizer. Sugar, what's that? Idaho potato.
Yeah.
I like it. You've really gone to town with this, haven't you? You've put everything into this. I do like those jerry cans.
There's a toolbox in there as well, so
Fantastic. I'm actually more out of laziness than anything else. I'm eyeing up that first toolbox because that just looks absolutely perfect. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with putting the counterweight on as it originally came out, but where we modified it, it just looks a little bit more aesthetically pleasing and natural. What's that? I love that number plate.
no.
So, I'd like to hear Dave Say's verdict.
No, Penny.
I think that looks really natural.
Obviously, it's not quite lined up, but it will. Yeah.
Right, now with the weight of the wheels, do you think that's heavy?
It will certainly add some weight on the front of it, yes.
Yeah, and obviously that counterbalance is adjustable, isn't it?
It
You've
is,
got two holes, so if you find it's not working well enough, you can always just move the counterbalance out a little bit.
That's it, yeah.
And I'm sure we can find other ways of weighing things down as well.
Yeah.
But we really won't know until we put that lifter on the back, and then we fill it full of heavy stuff on the lifter.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I absolutely love that. I think that's
perfect. Yeah.
I just want to hear, because obviously Dave's worked on tractors and things, and you know, could he see that as a real tractor? Yeah, that's brilliant. You can't see the liquid gravity.
No.
And it's perfect.
But yeah, that's certainly adds some weight. That's giving me arm ache.
Did you have to put the little winch on the onto the box?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's the first thing I did. Was drilled that.
Just drilled a couple of holes, did you?
Yeah, 2 mil holes. All the nuts and bolts come with it. And then filled it. Well, obviously attached the side arms first, and then the front winch, and then filled it with liquid gravity.
Have you been colouring your front grid in?
Yeah. I actually
You've either got too much time or too much imagination, or both.
probably a bit of everything. What I actually used is
That on the Toby's pen thing.
no. This is 3 mil pinstripe you use on cars.
Ah,
Cut to strips around, and then that does that. Yeah, I've got various colours. I've got orange. I've got blue. Obviously,
yeah, I know you got the orange one because you got to getting that red to put on the blue, aren't you?
Yeah. The only other thing that I bought is the warning light that goes on top of the cab, if you know what I mean. So,
Have you got your cab yet?
not yet. No.
Right.
So I'm waiting to.
I've done it for you. There it is. Yeah. This is your cab. No, it isn't. I haven't seen your cab because you haven't got it. But
There's my little. There's my warning light there. It's got different modes on it.
That's a proper hazard light, isn't it? No, I like the spinny one. Has it actually got a spinning bit inside?
No, it's just a board of LEDs.
Wow.
It flickers.
And how much does that cost?
£5.
That's really not awful, is it?
No. And then obviously the headlights are.
Yeah, they are bright, aren't they?
Well, I could.
Oh, because you've got that different controller board thing, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to order it, but I never got round to it.
What's that? Is it a special one?
Right, okay, you're going to have to talk us all through it now, Fleetwood. Exactly
Right.
what it is, how you use it, and what it does.
Well, hang on. Right. It's a bit awkward with us, but right. There's a wire that goes from the transmitter, which goes to this board here.
And that will be controllable from your transmitter, won't it?
Yeah. It's got 2 channels, so you could add another set of lights. Hang on. See if I can. Try to see if I've got another set of lights. I did have.
But basically, in a nutshell, Horlicks, what he'll be able to do is plug his lights into some kind of, like hi-fis when they have demo mode, and all the lights are all funny. He'll be able to do that with his tractor.
No, I haven't got any to hand, but I had another set of lights. But yeah, you could put another set of lights in that side, so you could turn the headlights on, turn them off, and you could have the rear marker lights on, or you could have both on.
Right.
Off one channel.
So how do you select what ones you choose?
Hang on. Just found a set. Hang on. Just see if I can.
Oh, is that just going in with the bog standard JST cables?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
So now, my headlights are working. Might have to put these round on. I can't remember which.
On, off, or flash, have you?
Yeah.
And is that built into your transmitter?
No, you just buy this lead off eBay, and it's about £2.
But how do you make the lights flash?
It comes with the board.
Right.
So, modes. So you press it once, and he's pressed it again, and that happens.
So you get them all flashing. Or you get the rear ones. Or you get the...
Right.
We could have a disco.
Are they? Is it the camera, or are they slightly out of sync in one of the modes?
They are slightly, but that's the rear lights, if I would say rear lights. And then that's your headlights. Then you got both on together. Then you got them both flashing. And it does just a random mode.
Yeah, it's going through a sequence, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they are starting off flashing together. So that's pretty much like your demo mode, isn't it?
Yeah. But they are, yeah. That lead is just... I'll show you.
Yeah, I've got to be honest with you. I'm just happy having my lights on and off.
Yeah, but that's the lead.
I can't see a need when you're ploughing your field, thinking, I know, I'll put my lights into disco mode.
Well, it depends if you're a raving farmer or not, if you know what I mean.
Farmer, you plough your field.
I suppose we're going to have like 3-4 lots of lights, so we're going to need to find something similar to that, but where you can put 3-4 sets of lights on it, perhaps.
You can get these with more, rather than have 2, they have another one which comes out here, and you got 4. If you like. So you're gonna have a 2 that comes out here.
If I was showing my 3D prints off at a show, that would be an absolute must for me.
Yeah.
Because then you'd put your lights on, you'd have them flash, and it would draw people to your stall then, wouldn't it?
Well, you could go absolutely bonkers, and you know.
Yeah. But you see, flashing lights.
I've just had a brilliant idea
Go on.
for next year.
Yeah.
Well, once the tractor's done,
Yeah.
we're going to have to design and build the Coca-Cola lorry and fill it with lights and LEDs.
What? Ready for next Christmas?
Yeah, so that we can drive the tractor around with a lit-up Coca-Cola lorry on the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
But only if we can also do a Mentos lorry and then crash the two together and see what happens. Love it. Absolutely love it.
So, what is that board thing called, and what one would it?
I'll put a link in the in the chat, or I'll send you a link privately.
Could you also pop it into the Facebook group as well?
Yeah, I can do. Yeah.
And if you do find the one with 4 connectors, that would be better.
I did find one on eBay, and you have a choice of 3. You can buy the 1, 2, or 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that.
I need to get a battery charger because I've actually got my battery now early.
Yes, I know. I broke the battery charger, and I've got to fix it.
But it's fine. I can order one.
No, actually, no. I had a bit of a rev about it. It's been a bit tidying up, and I'll tell you exactly what I need. Let me switch to me. Right. So what's happened is one of the buttons fell off, and I had to undo all the battery charger to get buttons. So this is the charger, right, which I had to open up. Now underneath these buttons, you've got these very basic switches, right? And they're ever so simple. And if I ever find the buttons, basically there's a little button that goes over the top. And what I wanted to do, you've got to put your buttons in after you put this on. But you see there, you've got this little silver bit. I managed to lose it off there. But the other day, do you remember this little LED countdown clock?
Yeah.
Right, it just happens to have 2 switches. So I'm going to rip that bit off, and it's going to fit onto there. So that will fix my button. Then I slide this back in, screw it all back together, and then put the buttons back in, slight dab of glue, pop them in, they're done. But you've got to put the buttons in last, because as you can see from here, buttons are higher. But I've also found a 3D print of replacement buttons for these. But they're actually on nice and tight. But if you pull them too hard, they will come off. So, and that's the problem I've got. It's just that one switch there. So I'm going to steal this one. All I've got to do is, in fact, I could probably do that now. All you got to do is just pull that off, because they clip in there. Because these 3, I've actually put a tiniest dab of super glue, and I managed to stick them back on. Actually, that's not coming off. Probably helps I use the right tool for the job. Yeah, I'll get it done. Saying that, be easier to be sold. Say again, Horlicks?
They just clip off.
Yeah, right. This little silver bit,
Yeah.
it actually fell off. It came off. There's 4 little holes in it.
Yeah.
Well, there's 4 little tiny pegs, and they did actually come off. So all I did on there was I put a tiny dab of super glue, put them on, and then pressed them in. And these 3 are absolutely rock solid. They're not coming off. But I then lost the button and the silver bit. for this one. I dropped it on the floor. So that I just need to just get that on. So I'm going to nick off these bits, these ones. I'll just desolder that, and I'll either desolder that and put this on, or I'll just nick the top. So yeah, easy job to do, and I've got plenty of time to do it now because I've got a couple of days off and I've got 7 mornings to do it as well. So yeah, you will have, as soon as I've done that, this charge is yours. And if you want, I'll throw in the holder for it as well. There you go. I made this. I don't know why I printed it off, but I knew I wouldn't use it. But this will screw onto the side. Like you take those screws out, put that in, and then screw it back on, and that'll give you a little desktop holder.
Right.
So it sits at an angle. So, whereas I bought it because this one, it fits the big charger, and then you put a big fan in it. And I did print 2 of them off. I think this is the one I haven't used. There we go. So this is 1/2 of it. So my charger will go in like this. So it'll have a desktop stand, but it'll have this big fan on it to cool it.
Right.
So, you know me, I see a project, and I'm like, yeah, you got to do it. So, yeah, that's why I wanted the bigger charger. I think that is the other side. No, that's that bit. So, but I've just got to figure out some way to power this fan now.
Just
Which 3-pin, but I think
you need to.
only need 2, but yeah.
Yeah, the yellow one's obviously the signal. You don't need that, so you just be the black and red.
Yeah, I'll just wire in the red and the.
Is it a 12-volt fan or 24?
It's a cannot remember, but let's have a look. I think it's 24 volts. So black is black, isn't it? And red. There we go. I'm pretty sure it's about 20. It's definitely 12. Well, that's 12 volts, and that's pushing a lot out. I'll have to look on eBay, but that's 24 volts, and my ashtray's on fire.
Oh, I thought it was the fan smoking.
No, it's I've got this this ashtray, and I've just put a cigarette in, and it's caught one of the butts that's already in there. So that's 32 volts, but I'll probably run it off about 9 volts, and then I can just run it off a battery then. But that's now 9 volts. There you go, that's 9 volts. That's fast enough, isn't it? And it's pumping heat out. So let me just move that over to my ashtray. That's one. It does actually look like the fan's on fire. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy enough for that. So I might have it. I might get. Actually, I might run it off 6 volts because I have actually got a 6-volt plug. The 6 volts is better than none, isn't it? Oh, it's not working. It's not working because I've got the plugs in the wrong way round. Right, okay. There we go. See my little smoke going on in the background.
I'll just put the links into the print group for now. I'll put them on Facebook in a bit.
Perfect.
Yeah, I've just seen that. I'm trying to find a 4-way one, but
The top one's a 4-way. The one with the yellow. It's got an extra. You need a power lead to it.
sorry, but
There's two I sent in the group. There's the top one. The first one is a 4-way, but you will need and it comes with a power lead. You need to plug into it to give it more. The 2-way, you don't need the extra power.
right. Oh, I see. What about a 3-way?
Yeah, do a 3-way, do we?
Well, I'm thinking we might, if the 3-way is self-powered, 3 channels. Here we go.
Okay, another do the 3. I must admit, I'm just keeping mine simple. My headlight is going to be. I'm now actually going to power all of the lights together, and I'm having mine directly from the battery. So what I'm going to do is I'll have the LEDs at the front and we haven't got. Oh, we're doing tail light as a mod, aren't we? But that will be plugged in directly from 7.5 volts. And then my marker lights will be, I've got a buck converter, which I will use. Did you see the buck converter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I'm going to try and fit that in somewhere to do but the marker lights will only be for the tractor. So I'll either put this near the back of the tractor somewhere, under the seat or something, or I'll put it straight onto the tractor. So that's what I'm planning on doing. But it's quite handy if we're all going to do slightly different ideas, then that'll be good, because when we come to do it, we'll have 4 options for everyone to do.
So I suppose there's nothing wrong with me just getting the 2-way and then hooking up the front and the rear lights together in one plug.
Yeah.
You plug them all into the same plug, they'll all do the same thing, won't they?
Yeah, so the front and rear lights we'd want to do the same anyway.
Yeah.
And then I just need one more for like the roof light or something.
Which
and then,
I'm using a flashing LED.
Yeah.
Mine's a 3-pin for my roof one, so mine goes straight into the transmitter.
Okay. Oh, that's a good idea. We'll have a couple of spare ones, won't we?
Yeah.
And then the sides, the lights, down the side of the trailer. I suppose I can hook them in with the headlights as well, because when you turn the headlights on, they would come on as well.
Yeah. What I want to do is I've got my switches ready. So what I'm planning on doing is this is going to come straight out of the battery. This is my on-off switch, but I've actually got sorry, this is for my lights. This is I've got me and Adrian were playing with this the other week. That might be better off to switch my camera. Right, so what I've got is you've got 2 on positions and 1 off. And what I was going to do is I was going to connect the marker lights to one of the on switches and the headlights to both of them. So what will happen is if it's in, say, that position, you'll get just the headlights. And then if you have that position, you'll have the headlights and the marker lights.
Yeah.
Then I was then going to hook, this is probably going to be my master switch. sorry, this is going to be the switch for the lights. This will act as the master switch as well. I'll work something out. So if we have these plugged in like that, what will happen is if this one is in the off position, everything is cut. But if you have this in the on position and then this in the off position, the tractor will work with no lights. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then that'll be headlights. And this will be headlights and marker lights or something like that. But I might have a bigger switch for that. But this one I might hide inside the tractor somewhere. Maybe there will do it, or something like that. And this one will probably I'll cut a little hole in the bottom somewhere, probably there or on the side. There'll be a tiny switch there, so tiny I've just lost it. Ah,
It's next to the other one.
there we go. So this will probably be on the side of something. I think this will be my master switch. Because the ESCs that we get, they do have an on-off switch, but the new ESC that I've got doesn't have an on-off switch. That's why I looked at these switches. But what I'll do is I'll try and get a chance to have a little play with this. Obviously, I need a battery. But I think I might need a different connector for this. So that needs to come in there. Oh, I haven't got my plugs on me, but that needs to come into there. But I now need a female switch. So actually, let's plug this in. So, 7.4 volts. So that one plugs in there. So we've got light. Then the motor. Do you remember which one is which? M1. That needs a converter. So you've got LED controllers. And you see, this is where I get confused. M1, channel 2, channel 3. So these obviously are going to plug into the transmitters. And I don't know what M1 and buzzer is. So, but they've all got to be linked up anyway. That's a good point. Dave Milne says my tractor not having a dashboard, so I can put micro switches on. Yeah, that would work well, wouldn't it? If I can incorporate switches, make a switch look like it's something else, that would do the job look very well. Obviously, you wouldn't necessarily be able to do that, Fleetwood, because you've done this flashy dashboard. Or possibly it might make it easier to do because you've got this flashy dashboard. Big baby boot just fell over. Right, guys, so we got anything else to cover?
No.
Right, so I'm going to finish the show.
Okay.
So very pleased with today's result. Very pleased with the modifications everyone else has made. So yeah. So Horlicks, are you having any videos coming out any point at any time?
I'm not sure yet.
Right, it's something you still got to get into the swing of, is that?
Yeah.
Okay. So as far as I'm aware, then no one's streaming tomorrow. We should have Chris Campbelling on Monday. I've not spoke to Chris Davies yet. I think he's got his Jaguar turned up. I know he had a payment go out, but I did my Jaguar last week, and very, very enjoyable. A lot of the build is actually quite basic, but I don't know if anyone's actually seen this, but I am going to show this off. So I think I figured out the wheels. One of the problems I had with the wheels was, sorry, it's not brilliant. When you put the spokes in, you've got this jig, and as you put the spokes in, it actually very slightly moves the wheel to one side. So what I figured out was that you need to put them in like 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then alternate them. So you see there, I don't know if you can see it, I've just got 8 spokes in, all equally distant. And then you fill in 2 of the spokes, you put 2 more spokes in, and then you move to the other side. So you're always keeping it level, and then you just build it up from there. And that works really well. Took me about 6 hours to figure that out. Then you start putting in the other spokes on the other side. Oh, that's something else. And that's not finished, but that worked really, really well for me. So if anyone is thinking about the Jaguar, do it slightly differently. So I did really enjoy doing those wheels. Not the first 6.5 hours. That was an absolute pain in the ass. I didn't swear as much as I thought I was going to swear, given how many troubles I had. But once I figured out how to do it, I had the wheel done within about half an hour. And all the time, every time it's going wrong, I'm thinking, this is only the spare wheel. We've got the 4 main wheels to come yet. So, but it's nice because when you're building the main, other than the engine, the build is so simple, and it's a little bit frustrating when you get one issue. Hi Chris, we just talked about you, but all good. When you do like the door, it's literally put the door handle on one screw. That's the whole issue done. So that wheel, you do get a lot of work out of that wheel. So, but that was once I figured out how to do it, it was an absolute joy to do. And I'm sure he won't mind telling you, I did do Chris's wheel, and then I did mine, and yeah, I really did enjoy them. So if anybody has a Jag wheel to do, send it to me. But you do need yeah, like Martin McFly says, that's okay, but if you're out by one spoke, you have to start again. Yes, you do. So you need to make sure you need to count the spokes. But where it's actually quite easy with the spokes is they actually can't go in the wrong place. The spokes are just the right length. If you put it in the right place, it'll fit. If you put it one along, it's really hard to get in. So your alarm bells are, oh, that spoke's difficult to clip in. Is there a problem? And then you start counting the spaces, and they're cut. You get one goes that way, then one goes that way, and the next one goes that way, and they're lined up. So you've got the first set of spokes, so they'll go in every one, all the ones going that way, and then the next set of spokes goes in that way. So it is, but yeah, like you say, if you're out by one spoke, yeah, I know you would have helped, Chris. I know you would have done, and it was just a shame. There was reasons kept coming up why I couldn't get round his, and I finally went round last week, and we finally got it sorted out. So I think he might still have trouble. It's his eyesight. more than anything. The rest of the build he can do. And there are a couple of issues with the Jaguar. There was a little bit that came off his engine. It actually came off mine as well, but because I hadn't kept trying to put it back on, I kind of got mine to balance. But if it doesn't work, I'm going to have to glue it on. So other than that, it's a really, really good build. Really, really good build. I like that. So, but again, it's suffering a little bit from the same problem as the Harley, which is the parts are large, so you don't, like when you get the bonnet, you get the bonnet in issue 1, but you don't do anything with it because there's nothing you can do with it. But it's about that long, so to get that much with I can't remember what we do in issue 1, but it's really, really simple. But the amount of parts you get, the quantity, it's a really heavy issue. But it's going to be a good model when it's finished.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you for sure that what you see on camera when you see him building, it's really genuine. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but it really doesn't do it much justice. You need to see it in real life. But that wheel, that came out quite good quality. So Chris Davies might be doing the Jag on Tuesday. I actually didn't do my last issue for the reason being that it was Dave Milne was bending photo etch today, tiny railings. I enjoy that. I've got a photo etch bender, and it's a fun bit of kit actually. Yeah, Chris Campbell, 4 more wheels to go. That was the frustrating bit. I was spending 6 hours on the wheel, and it kept going wrong. And the only thought that was going through my head was, this is only the spare wheel. We've still got 4 main wheels to go. Yeah, bending brass with a photo etch bender is so much easier. And I know that they're expensive, but they're really worth it. I'll try and get mine out one day and I'll show you. But it is. I don't know if I've got it to hand. That could be it. That could be it. That is it. I'll give you a quick look if you don't object. So I haven't got anything I can bend. But what I was doing with the let's do the etch bender. It's quite a heavy bit of kit. So what you have is you have this, and you've got different size holes, and you unscrew this, and then you wedge in. I don't know if I've got anything I can. I'll have to do it with cardboard, but it won't work as well. But you'll get the point. So right. So we've got this piece that we want to I'll put onto live stream. So obviously we'd have our score mark. We wouldn't. So we want to bend this piece of we'll call it brass. So what we'll do is we'll find, oops, unscrew it too much. So we put in the exact point that we want to bend it. There, like so. I'll tell you what, I'll turn it over so you can see better. So we put that into the exact point that we want to bend. We then clamp this down. We can then double check that it's in correctly, because it's not going to go anywhere. And then we get our little etch bender, which looks suspiciously like a razor blade with a guard on it. And then we come in from underneath, and we wouldn't actually bend that much. Right. Right, so we come in with our little razor blade stroke etch bender, And then what we'll do is we'll push that up there, and then we can just gently bend that up like so. And obviously it would stay put because it's a piece of brass. But then when we undo it and we gently slide that out, we then got our bent piece of brass. And it's not a cheap bit of kit, but it's absolutely brilliant. And we've got all various different sizes, and I think some of these are slightly different angles, so we can bend whichever bit we want. So I like it. It's done really well for me, actually. So, oh no, Adrian just sent me a link to Supercar Build Up, the Ferrari F40. Oh, is that actually out now, Adrian?
Seems like it.
Okay. Wow, you get a free Ferrari baseball cap and a key ring. And a 1:43. I don't know why they give out a 1:43 scale model as one of the free gifts. You know, you're building like a 1:6 version or 1:12 or whatever. So what do you want a tiny farty little tiny farty one for? I don't know. Maybe you would like it. So yeah. So I'm going to guess you've got one of these, Dave. This one came from RP Tools. That's Tools with a Z, which does kind of put me off companies when they can't ruler and a knife. I tell you what. Do you want to borrow this off me, Dave? See how you get on with it. But look them up online first and see what the price is, because like I say, they're not that cheap. And this is only the small one. If you're like a pro builder, you would you'd laugh at this. But I think that will do well. I bent the first pieces of my Flying Scotsman. I bent those with a steel ruler and a knife, and it was hard work. And then when I bought that, it made it so much easier. So, but yeah, definitely recommend one. Right, so yeah, quick recap of the week. So tomorrow, as far as I'm aware, we've got nothing, no one streaming. Monday is Chris Campbelling. You still doing the Terminator, Chris? I think you've got some catch-up issues, haven't you? Tuesday, we think might be Chris Davies with the Jaguar. Wednesday, is it Fleetwood's channel we're doing the remake on?
Yes.
Right. So Fleetwood and all the experts are going to be doing it on the Wednesday. I won't be needed. So it's all in good hands. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there's nothing. Are you guys doing anything on Saturday?
I might do the Renault 4 on Saturday.
Right. Okay.
Because I've got a few more issues I can catch up on.
Brilliant. So are we planning on doing the Fiat? Because I've got these parts sitting
Yeah,
there.
the 29th, we said we'll do that one.
So that sounds like week after next.
Yeah, that's the engine for the Renault 4.
Nice.
I did that off camera. I did up to issue 6 last live stream.
Yeah.
I did 7 and 8 off camera because there's so many fiddly parts. Trying to translate from French to English, it took me about 2 hours to put all the auxiliary parts in.
Yeah, because it's not like you can just right click and go Google Translate, is it?
No, I have to sort of hold my phone over it and then get a general idea of what it's trying to say.
I did have a laugh the other week. A friend of mine at work, he had some friends around for dinner, and he wrote out a menu, and he did it all in French. And he said, "Oh, have a look at your menu," and I translate it all pretty much absolutely spot on. And he goes, "Well, I didn't know you could understand French." I said, "I can't." I said, "But French culinary terms not a problem, because I needed to learn them when I was at catering college, and most of them have stuck with me. And I said, "You've got quite a basic menu there, haven't you?" And he went, "Yeah, it is quite simple." But because he's put French words, you could have fish, chips, and mushy peas. But if you translate it all to French, chipped potatoes fried in the fresh vegetable oil, served with a battered beer or beer batter fish, with crushed peas. It all sounds very posh, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So, but yeah, I've got 9, 10, 11, 12, and possibly 13.
Lovely. So you're doing that next
Saturday.
Next Saturday,
Yeah.
which then obviously takes us to the next Sunday. So really, the moral of the story here is to subscribe to Fleetwood J's channel if you haven't done so already, and then you'll catch those partworks. Anybody got any news on the new partwork company that was rumored?
Not really, no.
Really, I'm looking, but I can't seem to find anything. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Although, am I? Because if they're doing an absolutely fantastically awesome partwork, I really can't afford it, can I?
No.
And I don't want to miss out. So, and I got some excitement about the. I'm really excited about the Millennium Falcon coming to an end. So that's 3 months to go, 15 issues. I'm now at the 5 issues a month stage. So I really need to get some catch up done on that. But it's nice because the Millennium Falcon and the Harley Davidson should finish at the same time. So that's 2 partworks. That's £71 a month, I'll say. So that will fund the Ecto 1, and with 30 quid a month left over, which hopefully there won't be any appealing partworks come out for quite a while.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to get another pack of Fiat before Christmas? Or do you think it'll be after Christmas now?
I don't remember when it's due, but when was the last payment done? Was it the end of the month?
Well, it's meant to be, but mine was taken out.
I can have a look for you, but I just look in the bill section of my Microsoft Money. I do love that program. Right, bills. Right, so we've got Model Space Job. My Harley is due. They might have taken that out. I had a parcel delivered, attempted delivery today. It was too large for the letterbox, so I've got to go and get that. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm expecting. So I might actually go up to the sorting office and get that. Right, Harshette is due. Model Space is due.
The last time Model Space took money out of the Fiat was the 20th of November.
20th of November. Right, is it a $39.99 one?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, okay. So the last payment for me is the 20th of November. So I would suggest it's due around about the 20th. But I think they do it in 4 weekly cycles. And if there's a certain day of the week in the month, then it'll be taken 5 weeks later. That's why sometimes the payments go out. I always thought the payments were done calendar monthly, but they're not. They're done every 4 or 5 weeks. So sorry, they're done every 5. I don't know. But all I do is, you know, for example, the last Fiat was taken on the 19th, so I think it's due on the 20th. So I'll make sure the money's available on the 20th, which it might not actually be. And then if they don't take it till like the 1st of January, that's fine. It will be in there. So I don't know. So, but what do we get? Do we get 5 issues a week, a month?
Yeah. Pack 3 will include the first part of the chassis as well. So
yeah. I think we've got some slow down issues, haven't we? And then we kind of speed.
Hang on.
Because this pack is all about the engine, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, this is how patient Fleetwood is. I like the surprise.
Yeah. Pack 2 is...
I think the issue is all about the engine.
Yeah, pack 2 is engine, and
Yeah.
that is a bit more of the engine, silencer, and then we get the chassis, and then we start mounting the... that's the end of stage 3, it'd be like that, Penny.
Yeah. But the end of stage 2 is pretty much just going to be a complete engine, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's
a tiny two-cylinder engine, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's
yeah. Pack 2, transmission, the fan, engine assembly.
I suppose I shouldn't say
Pack
engine.
3 assembly.
Under the bonnet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
13 is silence.
So,
and then 14 is fuel pump, and then 15 is the chassis. So,
right. So it's most of pack 3 is going to be under the bonnet as well.
Yeah.
But then once that's done, that's done. And isn't it funny, like with the Routemaster, when we were doing the engine, it was quite a major bit, wasn't it? And
yeah,
as we put the rest of it, it's I won't say it's made the engine insignificant, but the engine's been kind of not forgotten. But you know what I mean? It's not the most significant part anymore. We've got so many other things.
I've noticed, like the car builds, the engine's normally like the first thing you start to build after your bigotry, a few issues to get you wound in, and then the chassis, and then you build on the chassis. As the Routemaster, it was bits of this, bits of that, and we had to wait nearly 20 odd issues.
And then you got the engine to go on the chassis.
Yeah.
And then you start to cover that engine up.
Yeah.
So now you want to lift that bonnet up to have a look at the engine in case, because you've forgotten about it for the last couple of weeks.
That's it, yeah.
Right. Okay, then. So is that everything covered?
Yep. I think that's about it, really.
I will let everybody wind down the show. Shall we go clockwise, starting with Horlicks?
Okay. Well, yeah. See you later, everyone. Thanks for watching. Been a really good build. Really impressed with that.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, can't wait for the next issue.
And it's really, really good to see you back, Horlicks.
Thank you.
I've noticed you now compared to the start of the stream. You seem to have really got into it. So I know off camera you were saying, "Oh, I'm really not sure," and I'm like, "Well, we'll see how it goes." But I think you've really, once you start getting your screwdriver out, you've really got into it, haven't you?
Yeah.
So if ever you're having a bit of a down day, you know what to do, don't you? Get on and do a bit of building. All right.
Yes.
So, Adrian.
Yeah, it's a pretty good show. So far. I've still got to do the other 2 fronts at the moment of the tractors.
Yeah, because you get triple the fun, don't you?
Yes.
You get triple the cost, but you get triple the fun.
Yeah, that's compared to the job, isn't it, sort of thing?
Yeah. So
Well, it's goodbye for me. I'll probably see you all on Wednesday on the Routemaster Show, then on Saturday with the Renault 4. So it's nice to have Horlicks back on board. Are you coming on Wednesday, Horlicks?
I think so. Well, I'll have to let you know because Tuesday's a bit of a day. And I've got to go somewhere, and I'm not sure how I'm going to be after that. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm hoping to be out.
Well, Fleetwood, you can always send them the link, can't you? And if you don't, yes,
I'm sure I'll be all right. But I've got to be somewhere Tuesday. So it depends how that goes.
But it'd be nice just to take your mind off things, and have a laugh and joke.
Yeah, hopefully after Tuesday there'll be a bit of closure. So we'll see.
yeah, that's right. I remember what you've got going on now. Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to cope next week. I've got just wall to wall of hospital appointments, starting from Tuesday. Literally, I've got exercise class with physiotherapy, and then I've got all sorts after that, mental health, hospital appointments, and I'm going to be knackered by the end of the week, if you know what I mean. So by Saturday, I might be falling asleep during the Renault 4 show. I might be prodding, if you know what I mean.
Right. Oh, sorry, I thought you finished.
No, I said Sean's laughing now, if you know what I mean. So
Right.
Thanks for having me anyway.
Yeah, no worries. Right. Okay, guys. So take care, and I will see you all on another issue. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
bye all.